everybody, welcome back to my YouTube series. This is episode 2, and in the background I've got some music going that I made. It's basically like same thing as last week. I have this program called Reason, made by Propellerhead. I think it's like a Swedish company or something. The only reason I know that is because I looked into it because Scott C did one of the illustrations on the box. Anyway, so yeah, it's like a digital audio workstation, a DAW, and it has like a digital synthesizer built into it. And so basically I just fiddled around with the knobs on there and then came up with like a sound that I liked, and I hit the record button and I just kind of doodled musically for 17 minutes. So that's going to be the backdrop for this video. The art here is this is a personal piece that I did when I was living in Portugal last spring. And basically when I was living in Portugal, I was making my living doing album covers online for people who found me through the internet. And in order to keep myself busy when I was in between jobs, or if I needed a break from working on client work, I decided to do one personal album cover every week. And basically it was just a square-shaped artwork. It wasn't really representing any musical thing. It was just, an album cover like piece. So this is basically based on a photo I took of a wall looking up at the sky and some trees above. And one of the really beautiful things about Portugal and Italy also, and I'm sure other European countries, is that these cities are just so old and so dense, and they have these narrow alleyways that wind between the buildings. And often you have scenes like this where you're looking up at a wall with someone's garden above, and sometimes you see a cat on the wall, or sometimes you'll see a dog looking down at you, barking at you. I actually had a series of photos that I took of dogs looking down from high walls. Anyway, yeah, so that was this is based on one of those photos I took, and then I threw in some sci-fi elements as well, which is that little robot thing flying above. But yeah, so that's basically what the drawing is here. I was gonna do a time lapse of a client piece I was working on this week, but I wasn't sure if the client wanted me to post it, and I haven't talked to them about it, so I decided to just use this piece, which I like this piece, and it's kind of cool to dig it back out again. So yeah, that's what's going on visually and audibly in this video. And then there's my voice too, which is, it's like a trio, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this week I'm gonna just talk about what happened this week since last time I made a video. This week was my birthday, which was kind of cool. I turned 28, and so I want to say thanks to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. It was a good birthday. I did some drawing. What else? Oh, my parents drove up to Rochester, where I live, and we got dinner, which was really nice. And I think I went rock climbing in the morning, which was really nice, because usually I try to like rock climb after, in the evening. I try to stick to like a consistent work schedule, almost as if I was like in an office job. It just kind of keeps my day structured a little bit. But I was like, you know what, it's my birthday, so I'm gonna go rock climbing. And it was fun because there was no one at the gym, so it's like I had the whole place to myself. Yeah, so that happened. And then also another important thing for me was I felt like playing some video games because I haven't played video games in a while. Basically, I bought a Nintendo Switch 2 years ago when I went on a road trip with my sister out west. I was like, well, I'm gonna be in the car for hours and hours, and maybe this would be a good time to play some video games because I have a hard time like just letting myself play video games or like watch TV or movies and stuff because I always feel like I need to be productive. But if you're in the car, like you can't really be productive anyway. So I was like, yeah. And I hadn't played any video games since like high school, basically. Not seriously. So yeah, I bought that. I bought Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I really enjoyed it. And after I beat that game, I basically didn't play it that much. But recently, I wanted to get some video game inspiration for my drawings. So I bought this game, Hyper Light Drifter, and oh my god, it is so beautiful. You know when you like watch a movie or you read a book or you play a video game and it just hits you perfectly? Like everything about it is just exactly what you wanted. That's kind of like what this game felt like for me. It's basically set in like, I'm still early in the game, but it's kind of like a futuristic fantasy world. So there's like swords, but they're like futuristic swords, and there's like lots of vegetation and like ruins, but it's all kind of like futuristic ruins. So I don't know, I just love that combination of like you're in the future but there's ruins and swords, and the colors are just really beautiful in this game, and the music is really beautiful, and I think that's one of my favorite things about it, and partially what inspired this music I'm playing right now. Just lots of synths and like ambient soundscapes. So yeah, I've been really inspired by that. I almost like want to make some fan art of it, or at least make some work that's inspired by it. Another thing that happened this week is we got a ton of snow, which I really enjoy. People complain about the snow up here in the north, but I don't drive that much. I pretty much just walk everywhere, so I actually really enjoy it because it's like it makes everything quiet, and I don't know, it's been like flurries just constantly, and something about snow, there's just like a magical quality to it, and it inspires me, and it makes, if you're like sitting in a cafe working and there's snow falling outside, there's something about that that's just makes you want to draw or something like that. Yeah, so I've been enjoying the snow, and I basically have a list here I'm kind of looking through. Sorry about that sound thing there for a second, but yeah. So I guess the other thing that happened this week is I've been having some epiphanies, or crisis / epiphanies, because as you may or may not know, in 2019 I did a daily drawing project where I drew one picture every day for a year, and I think it was really an exploratory, whatever the correct word is for that. You know, like a time of exploration. Because I had to make a piece every single day, I kind of had to switch it up to keep myself sane. And originally I had like this plan to do like a different series each month, but what would happen is I would start the series and like halfway through I would get really bored of it. I did it for the first 3 months. I did the series, but after a while, it was like I'm just gonna draw whatever I feel like drawing today, and as a result, I had to like change up what I was doing pretty frequently to keep myself, like I said, keep myself sane, kind of. So I guess because I was making a piece every day, I really I couldn't spend longer than a day on each piece. So all my personal work tended to be like quick pieces that were either good and small or bad and large. I guess that's a good way to say it. Is that because I couldn't make like a full piece, so I either had to do like a quick character piece, like a small character piece, or kind of like a watered down bigger piece that was kind of rushed. And I think at the end of the year, I had gotten into this mindset of like creating quick, fast pieces, and I just really haven't made a lot of like big pieces lately. And I guess my epiphany is that I think I need to start making some more elaborate work and really kind of just dive into some bigger projects with larger, more detailed, more thought out pieces. Because I don't know, like, hmm. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking out loud here, but I guess that's part of what this video is for. It's kind of like a video blog in a way, like a journal, an art journal. Because some people make these videos and they're established artists and they already have a massive following and people come to hear what they have to say, but I'm kind of a new artist, I would say, and this is more about me documenting my journey than it is talking about, my well-formed thoughts about art. So, if you're into that, keep listening. Yeah, so I think I want to dive deeper and really make some pieces that that reflect all the things that I've learned over this past year. Like this piece here on the screen, I think it took me like a few days, but it's a full piece that kind of like tells a story, and it's not just like a character standing there. And I want to make more work like this. Like, I think I want to like dive into one direction, or at least for a series of pieces, dive into one direction and just really focus on creating, 10 pieces that show a fleshed out world with maybe some characters in them, or like some kind of narrative that tells a little bit of a story, that what's been happening here and what kind of creatures inhabit this world, and really have fun with some of the details, showing like little pieces of stories that have happened here. Because I really like looking at that kind of work, and whenever I see that kind of work, I'm always really inspired. So I think that's kind of where I want to go. I think I want, well, basically I have an art show coming up here in May at this coffee shop here in Rochester, and I'm kind of trying to figure out how I want to approach that. And I think right now my idea is I want to have a series of different pieces. So I want to have like some big pieces that are like what I'm talking about right now, where it's like fleshed out pieces that are more developed. And then I'd like to have like, it would be cool to have like 50 small like watercolor characters that they almost create a whole world as a body of work, like you just have all these characters and you can imagine them living together, interacting. And then I thought it might be cool to have some like observational sketches in this show too. So I don't know, this is my first show, my first solo exhibition, I guess you could call it, but I don't necessarily feel like I am ready, but I'm not going to pass it up, so I just gotta figure something out. And I'll probably post time lapses of those pieces in the following weeks. Alright, I guess I have a couple other things I want to talk about. So I guess someone asked me like, "What are your plans for this YouTube channel?" And I was like, "I don't have any plans for it. I'm just gonna make videos and talk and stuff like that." But I don't know. People might like me to change it up a little bit here and there. So some small ideas I had were like to do some sketchbook tours, because I have like at least 15 sketchbooks full of like urban sketches and from my travels and things like that. So that might be cool to like talk about all my memories for each sketch and kind of go through. I don't know. I just think that'd be interesting for people. Then I want to do some more like process commentaries, because right now I'm just kind of rambling about my life and stuff like that, which I think I'll do more videos like this as well, but it might be cool to have some more videos where I'm digging deeper into the process of the piece that I'm showing and talking about my thought process and all that stuff. And then another thing I want to do is maybe have some guests, because I have a lot of art friends that I've met on the internet and through Ghost Scouts and through traveling and stuff like that. So maybe just have a conversation with one of my friends every once in a while. I think that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, so I was kind of trying to like structure this video out, at least with my talking points a little bit, and I hope you enjoyed it. You know, I hope you were drawing and making some stuff too. And I hope you have a good week. I'm going to try to make one of these videos every Sunday, or at least post it every Sunday, so you should expect that. Alright, have a good week, and goodbye.